everybody, how's it going? I am LazerDude, and it's time for another video of my Corona life. That's right. If you saw my first part, it was all about how my wedding plans changed drastically due to coronavirus, but that wasn't the only thing that was going on. Yeah, nope. We still had more to do, and the first thing, that was the first thing, but now the second thing. So now, Caitlin and I, we're now married, we're together, but before this happened, before that, just a little before, I tried to make sure that when she came to the house that there was internet already hooked up, because we both like internet, we both like using it. I need it for YouTube videos and video games and whatnot. She likes it because she likes to play Candy Crush, but neither here nor there. I don't judge. I love her. She's so lovely. Anyways, so I tried to get it hooked up. The guy comes in, and he's he's like, okay, I want you to go into the basement, because since the coronavirus, they can't actually come inside. That's their thing that they did. They're not allowed to come into the house. They basically have to be outside of the house and give you the directions, and you try to figure it out. Which, yeah, that's fun. But anyway, so he's trying to hook up the fiber optics, and he's like feeding a wire, and he's like, do you see the wire? I'm like, no, I don't see the wire. Then he's like, are you sure? Don't you see it? Don't you see something moving? I'm like, no, there's nothing down here. And so I keep on going up and down, like, what am I missing? What am I missing? And then it's when I came to a little bit of a realization of something. I'm going to take the camera off of the thing for a second. What I realized was that he was about here, up there, outside, feeding a wire in, but the power box was here. So yeah, he literally couldn't feed the fiber optics wire in because the spot that he was trying to feed it in wasn't where the power box was. So he said, well, I can't do it, and I can't come inside to fix it myself, so what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to order you a smart hub. I'm like, what's a smart hub? He's like, it's just a device that will allow you to access the internet, and then once this whole coronavirus is over and we're able to go into the house, you'll be able to get the fiber optics hooked up, and we'll take the smart hub back. And so we're like, okay, that sounds good. Let's go with that. So a couple of days go by. But this is still before I'm married, and then I get a call. It was the day I was driving out to help her move her stuff in, and I get a call that's from TELUS and whatnot, and it was about me canceling my services and whatnot, and I was like, yeah, and you guys are sending the smart hub, right? And the lady's like, the what? Like, the smart hub. The guy told me he was going to send me a smart hub so that I would be able to access the internet. She goes, I have no records of any smart hubs being ordered to your place. I'm like, what? But the guy said he'd do it. I was like, oh, I don't know what to tell you. We can fix it right now. I was like, no, I can't. I gotta go. But I guess what was a misunderstanding was I thought he was going to order it, but he was telling me that I needed to order it, which I think you could have made a little bit more clear. But anyway, no harm, no foul. Whatever. I gotta order a smart hub, but I can't do it now because I'm driving off, and then it's the weekend, and I'm getting married. So I'm not gonna be like, I vow to cherish and to hold. Yeah. The smart hub, is it ready? Yeah. No. Oh, sorry. One sec. Which contract am I signing right now? Once we get married and everything, and we're we both took a week off of work to spend time together, and that was really nice. And so I decided to get to then order the smart hub. So I go on the phone, and I'm on hold for a long time. In reality, it's not that long. It was like 20 minutes. And I get someone that says, okay, what can I help you with? I'm like, okay, I need a smart hub, blah, blah, blah. And the guy's like, okay, let me put you on hold. So they transfer me to another department about the smart hubs. And so then I'm on the hold for another half hour. And then I'm on the phone with this person, and I talk to them, and they're like, oh, no, you want mobility, which is what I was just at. It was like, they're the ones that can order this thing because this is the department that buys and rents the smart hubs. But I'm telling about having one temporarily, so it's like, you'll need to go over here. So now I'm on the phone for another half hour on hold, and I finally get somebody who's able to arrange something. And at first, it's what it sounds like. I'm going to be paying extra for internet. She's like, yeah, it costs $120, and Candace's like, he was only paying like $70. And it's like, yeah, but it's okay because you'll be paying for the smart hub, but after you get the smart hub replaced later, we'll just credit you that money. So, okay, we'll be paying a little bit more now, but we won't be paying as it'll even out after this whole thing's over. That's okay with us. So we think, boom, it's done. She said it would take 3 to 5 days. So we're like, all right, we're going to get internet in 3 to 5 days, which is very good because Caitlin since she's still working, but she's working from home, she's going to need the internet. So we're like, okay, that's worked. It's all good. We're all done. 3 days go by, and I decide at that moment to check my email. And it was when I got that email that right after I hung up, she said, oh, by the way, your credit card didn't work. Yeah, your credit card didn't work. Can you call me back? And we're like, what? What? This whole time we've been waiting for the smart hub to get here. The credit card didn't work. And get this. Here's the thing that really pisses me off. When we finally call back and ask why the credit card didn't work, it's because the flippin' credit card address, the address on the credit card, has to match the address that the smart hub is being delivered to. Otherwise, it won't do it. I mean, come on, you don't have any parents who are paying for their child's internet services that would need to have a credit card that has a different address of where they're staying at? Come on, like that never happens. That's BS. Anyway, we were very mad. We were very mad. And now I'm like, well, I'm going to try to find some other internet thing because we can't get this, the credit card changed right away. At least we didn't think so. Apparently it's a lot easier than we thought it was. But we're like, so we decided to check the other prices on the other things. And so we look over. That's after being on hold for another 40 minutes again, by the way. And so then we look and the other prices are just way too expensive. Shaw and all that, they're way more expensive. And so well, what do we do? And so I finally call back. We get her credit card number changed over and we're like, okay, well now what? I guess I'll phone them back again, see if it works this time. And so we phone them back, and I get a lady who knows what the heck she's talking about. Because when she looks at her file, she's like, oh yeah, you tried to do this, that wouldn't work. I don't know why you would need a smart hub though. Why don't you just go with a regular cable line? What? Yeah, they still have copper wiring in there. You could just use that. Not a single person who we were on hold with this whole time, which is 4 or 5 people, ever brought this option up to us. Not a single one of them. And I had a feeling that they're all trying to upsell us, you know? They're not going to bring up that we could still get copper, older internet still in, which is still high-speed internet. But they're not going to bring that up because they want us to buy the fiber optics or the smart hub, pay a lot of money. But I feel like this lady, she was one of those ladies that's worked at this place for so long, she doesn't even care. You know, if they fire her, she was going to retire soon anyway, so she's just being very helpful. So I want to give you a thumbs up, lady, because you saved our butts. Finally, because we're getting close to the weekend to the next week at this point, and so we're like, oh no, maybe we won't be able to have internet, and what's that going to do for Caitlin's job because she needs it to work? So, so she helps us set up an appointment for somebody to come in and install the copper internet or whatever. I don't exactly remember what it is, but that's what she said. And so we wait for the day, the guy comes and he's like, okay, I just need you to do a few things because they still can't come inside. And so basically he's like, I would need you to feel around down there with this wand, and it would beep when you went to the internet wires. And so I was fooling around down there. I was like, okay, and the wires that I could see, or where it was beeping, was behind the wood. Let me show you. It was beeping when I was putting it here, and it wasn't this wire, but it was beeping when I was putting it here, so I thought, oh no, the wires are all stuck behind this wooden panel. And so now I'm like, oh my gosh, we're never getting internet. Call up the Amish, we're ready to join, because we're never getting it. I was like, the guy was even saying, yeah, well, if you can't get the wires, then there's nothing I can do because I can't go inside. And I'm just like, oh, no. I'm gonna actually have to order a smart hub after all. I hate the word smart hub. I never want to hear it again in my life. But I'm like, okay, can you let me just take the one down one more time and give it a quick look, see if I missed anything? And I was just fooling around. I was half like just giving up, and then I was boop, 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 boop. And there were these two small, tiny wires, and apparently those were it. I mean, I don't know what I thought it would look like, but I guess I thought wires that would connect us to the World Wide Web would be thicker than an inch, or I mean, a centimeter, you know? And so I found them, and we hooked them up, and we finally connected ourselves. It took forever because of the story I just told. But I finally got it hooked up. I remember the guy's like, okay, just wait until your router or whatever blinks when it's all green. I was just sitting there watching the whole time. I didn't leave the room. I didn't want to just, lazily do it. I was like, the whole time. I was sitting there for like a half hour. And he finally fixed it. We were online. We were good to go. We were to the races. I was so happy. And then we were finally connected. And fortunately, that's where that story is. It's not a big finish. It's just to the fact that it took us so long to do something that I thought was going to take a day. That's basically that story. And that's those first two stories. Those are done. So one more story that I need to get into. My last one of my Corona life. But hey, as I said in the last video, if you have any stories about your coronavirus experiences, maybe even if you had coronavirus, I would love to hear about it. Tell me all about it. Tell me how it's affected your life. Maybe if you have a funny story of something you've been doing while you've been locked at home, tell me about it. I'd love to hear it. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm LazerDude, and one more to go.